Hello, my name is Latrice Williams. I am a rising junior communication major at Berea College, and I am from Atlanta, Georgia. The purpose of my presentation is to showcase my growth and adaptation of social entrepreneurial leadership. I will specifically highlight the 7 core learning goals of EPG as they have been implemented into my learning process in daily life. And I will also be explaining my journey learning about entrepreneurship, implementing it through fieldwork, and teaching the value of entrepreneurship and social media to tourism directors, civic experts, and high school students. My presentation will focus on my growth in the following areas: academic enhancement, civic learning, and personal growth. This talk will also focus on the skills I've learned throughout the EPG program and the impact my group and I have made in rural communities by using certain entrepreneurial skills and tools. When I got accepted as an Entrepreneurship for the Public Good Cohort 9 member at Berea College, I was unaware of what was yet to come in the program. I perceived this internship to be filled with business plans and a step-by-step demonstration of how to invest in a property. But when I finally delved into the content of this course, I realized that its main purpose was to introduce students to the value of social entrepreneurship in order for us to be motivated to bring about economic and societal change through the promotion of an idea like social media strategies. Our professor realized that entrepreneurship was lacking in rural communities, so under his direction, we were all exposed to his teachings that focused on the value and definition of entrepreneurial skills and leadership. As a part of his teaching method, our professor wanted us to become more aware of the struggles Eastern Kentucky was facing. So we used the Atlas of Rural and Small Towns in America database to compare Kentucky County to our own hometown county in order to determine their differences. Here you can see that there is a drastic difference between the percentage of people 25 and older who have college degrees in my county compared to Breathitt County, which is in Eastern Kentucky. By the end of this comparison, we were all able to identify the factors that solidified feelings of stress and a loss of hope in the minds of Eastern Kentucky locals. Luckily, we were all able to compile ideas that would help counteract some of the hardships that Eastern Kentucky communities were facing. And promoting tourism through social media was the biggest of these ideas. The current situation in Kentucky is that 1. Rural communities have been hard hit by the 2008 economic recession. 2. Over 750 coal mining jobs have been lost in Eastern Kentucky alone in the past few weeks. And 3. Owing to globalization and industrial offshoring, economic uncertainty has been the norm in rural communities for years. To uplift these rural communities out of their economic depression, EPG decided to encourage local businesses to use social media platforms to promote their business' assets to outsiders. And we did this by demonstrating the importance of this marketing strategy. Jennifer Acker in the Dragonfly Effect says that this can be done by 1. Telling powerful stories, 2. Using social media to your advantage, and 3. Building personal relationships before doing business. We figured out that actually taking her advice when delivering formal and informal presentations to community partners really decreased their uncertainty about change. Before we were able to spark the interest of our audience, we were all exposed to a couple of tools which we ultimately adopted as our close friends. The one-page business plan, which showcased the vision, mission, objectives, strategies, and action plans of a potential business, really forecasted the detailed components that were necessary to endeavor on any new idea. And the business model canvas showcased the financial considerations of a business. We were also introduced to the art of identifying the 6 elements of an idea, which included the product, market demand, product benefit, marketing strategies, management team, and the raise. Just learning about this particular strategy was interesting to me, but when I actually got to teach my gained information in the form of a game to the Rogers Scholars High School students in Somerset, Kentucky, I really found value in this method. All the methods you see on this slide aided us as we developed into entrepreneurial leaders who have gained the ability to contribute to innovation and compel people to action. My motivation to learn about social entrepreneurship was heightened after I learned about this young boy named Homer Hickam, who was a coal miner's son who lived in West Virginia during the 1950s. This young man was very persistent, team-oriented, a risk-taker, and was inspired by the launch of Sputnik 1 to take up rocketry against his father's wishes. Homer Hickam knew nothing about rocketry. He didn't even like math. But because he wanted to pursue his dreams and contribute to society by learning the ins and outs of how to launch a rocket, he delved into the area of uncertainty and complexity to accomplish his entrepreneurial dreams. Throughout the Entrepreneurship for the Public Good program, I was given the opportunity to experience uncertainty and complexity on a daily basis. For example, I remember when it came in the form of my group's task of selecting a place for the whole group to eat dinner, or introducing a guest speaker that I've never met, or creating a group persona in the midst of my group's conflicting ideas. But in the end, I felt more comfortable with ambiguity and uncertainty, just like Homer Hickam. In order to complete my EPG assignments, I had to first develop an entrepreneurial mindset. I particularly liked reading A Handbook to Appalachia because it provided a first-hand view of the struggles and a sense of local pride in the Appalachian region that I had not previously been exposed to. Meeting Chad Berry, on the other hand, filled in the blanks that the book was missing by explaining Appalachia's early migratory settlement and the positive and negative stereotypes that still exist today. Talking to Judy Jetson provided me with bright spots and ideas that I could see being replicated in Eastern Kentucky and Berea, such as cooperations amongst businesses. Meeting Jerry Abramson, the Lieutenant Governor of Kentucky, was a real pleasure as well, because we all were given the opportunity to ask the tough questions about things like economic development strategies in the making. But the icing on the cake, for me, would have to be utilizing my approachability skills in order to get public opinions about the value of a community. Because I realized that the heart and pride of a town was found only in the people who lived and worked there. These ideas that I listed above are just some of the tasks that my team faced on a daily basis. In these situations, listening, organizing, and managing and measuring work were big parts of the results. But in essence, our team dynamics and connections with each other didn't make the process of distributing work, facilitating group decisions, or developing peer relationships a hard task, because we always quickly and efficiently found fair and common ground. On another note, the great thing about being in teams is that we can bounce ideas off of each other by brainstorming and then brainwriting, which is just the act of jotting down ideas. These processes are exciting because we all view things in a different light, so our ideas are never really too similar. With these ideas, we could then share our knowledge with one another, and then strengthen, connect, or get rid of some ideas. Another strategy that my team found useful was looking for bright spots. This is an approach which was suggested by Chip and Dan Heath in the book Switch, as a way to bring about change in a society. These authors encouraged us to look for things that are working in a community which can possibly solve the issues before we try to overanalyze the scope of a problem. This method really helped us as we created compelling presentations that we presented to community partners, which also highlighted practical solutions that were already at work in other communities. Our journey discovering how to bring about change also clashed with recognizing opportunity and identifying cultural assets in the communities in which we toured. By way of the locals, my team at EPG was exposed to the heart of these areas by learning about the cultural assets that have spawned a sense of local pride in these communities. We learned after leaving every small community that each area has something to offer to outsiders, and if these communities work with us to promote these assets more efficiently through social media, the world will also know why these areas are so treasured, valued, and favored. To brag about this book again, I just want to say that switch has become a great asset in my life and in my EPG team's life. I compare this book to a toolkit that typically provides all the quick and easy answers to complicated problems. Compelling people to action and implementing change are the highlights of this book, which directly coincided with EPG's main goals. My team has used this book as a resource to motivate people's elephants by focusing on one idea and presenting it in a compelling way with the use of credible statistics from databases such as the Kentucky Travel and Tourism Research. We have directed their writer by introducing our audience to the plethora of community assets that are in their own backyards, which are definitely worthy of recognition. And we have changed their path by directing them to an inexpensive and convenient way of marketing these assets, social media. To encourage our community partners to head down the path to social media, my group told a compelling story which enrolled our community partners on a journey that showcased a traveler who was adamant about using social media tools such as Yelp, Facebook, TripAdvisor, and Google Local to plan a trip to Eastern Kentucky or Berea, Kentucky. Highlighting this persona's goals, travel strategy, and lifestyle were specific methods we used to argue that individuals voluntarily use social media tools before, during, and after their travels. We also discovered that using creative methods like catchy headlines that state, "Having a blast at Buckhorn above," was a great way to demonstrate that catchy titles can draw attention to outsiders who are looking to venture to a local business. After my group presented, we observed that our community partners were willing and able to implement social media into their own personal spaces in hopes of marketing to tourists outside of the region. These factors are some of the subjects my team established as invaluable because they are factors that can help a business build customer relationships, which is the core and major success in regards to tourism. We even threw out the Jenna Brooks method, who is a colleague of mine at EPG, of reaching a spider web of friends as a way to highlight the measurable impact of using social media. I personally experienced the value of social media when I ventured to new places. Yesterday, I was actually in London, Kentucky with one of my friends, and I ended up signing onto Yelp to figure out where to eat. And by viewing the opinions of previous travelers to London, Kentucky, I got my answer: King Buffet. I also suspect that my contributions to Yelp have helped diminish the uncertainty in the mindsets of tourists choosing to visit certain destinations. Here on Yelp, you can see that I have reviewed 93 destinations, I have added 55 new businesses to Yelp, I have received 9 compliments, 142 people have viewed my reviews, 4 people found my work useful, 3 people called my work cool, and obviously no one thinks I'm funny. Just seeing the value added through social media reviews provides a sense of accomplishment in my heart because I am providing an avenue for outsiders to get a first-hand perspective about destinations that I have traveled to and they are thinking about visiting. In reference to Facebook, I like the fact that social capital identification is easily recognizable in the form of insights. I discovered that my team's group page, Keeping Appalachian Locations Digital, was being reviewed and liked by the larger community. As you can see here, my group's page has 51 likes, 20 people are talking about our work, we have 25 committed Facebook friends, we reach 575 people weekly, and we have a total of 19,365 friends of friends who will possibly see our posts. You can also see the virality of our posts. The virality of our posts is an indication of the percentage of people who viewed and are interested in a specific post. Here you can see that about 26% of our followers have viewed this post about Buckhorn State Resort Park that was posted on July 2nd, 2012. My group also noticed that providing visuals via Facebook and during presentations really engaged viewers' curiosity about what we have been doing throughout EPG. And the great thing about Facebook is that one can track the number of people that were reached after posting something by viewing an indicator such as the one I highlighted on this slide. Here you can see that 72 people have been reached or have viewed the pictures and comments that are incorporated in our first day of exploring local businesses in Berea album to the left. TripAdvisor is a social media site that is most popular amongst the older generation, but it has benefited my generation as well. In the beginning of my summer internship with EPG, I became accustomed to posting reviews on Yelp because of the site's trendy feel and easy navigation, but I realized that using more than one social media site to post reviews is very beneficial. When I started posting online reviews to multiple sites, I attained the advantage of reaching various customer segments and demographics instead of just one. Also, adding social media sites such as TripAdvisor and Google Local to my social media toolbox aided my credibility of social media awareness and allowed me to be more creative as I praised or gave opinions about a certain establishment. And I could tell that my viewers didn't want me to let them down, because as you can see in the left-hand corner, travelers appreciate my opinions about destinations. Since living the life of a tourist for the last 8 weeks in the EPG program this summer, I have collaboratively helped take 625 photos, which are posted on my team's Facebook page. I have complimented my EPG colleagues on social media platforms more than 25 times, and I have received over 25 compliments from viewers in regards to my online reviews and Facebook posts. I have also posted 93 reviews on Yelp, 20 updates to Facebook, 18 reviews to TripAdvisor, and 11 reviews on Google Local, which adds up to a total of 142 reviews. Here you can see the breakdown of Phase 1 in Berea, Kentucky, with my total contribution of 92 reviews, and my Eastern Kentucky contribution of a total of 50 reviews. Along this journey with EPG, I was also able to share my work and my group's work with various community partners in Berea and Eastern Kentucky, and I ended up adding 50 individuals to my contacts list for future entrepreneurial endeavors. After my group and I presented our work in these areas, we could tell that the information in our presentations grabbed the attention of community partners because we discovered that journalists and cameramen were willing to record our work when the Knott County cable television station and the troublesome Creek Times newspaper in Knott County engaged in this activity. Also, I made it easy for more people to become more aware of the work we are doing in EPG and the value of it by posting my presentations about destinations in Berea and the importance of utilizing social media for promotion on YouTube. I figured out that this method was a great way to introduce my work to individuals who were not able to make it to my presentation, or who were just interested in our work. On another note, if I was to do something over in regards to my presentation in Berea, I would have posted more visual examples of online reviews on my slides, because this strategy really engaged my audience in Eastern Kentucky when I used this strategy then. I could tell that visual recognition of online reviews of local businesses was really valued in Eastern Kentucky when the executive judge of Knott County, Randy Thompson, sent me this email below that highlighted his appreciation of my team's work and my own. He said that he was very impressed with our work, and he appreciated our ideas, which he would readily use to promote Knott County's assets in a better light. Other community members provided feedback to us in the form of comments after our presentation. Some people stated that our presentations were well done, provided them with great ideas for their future projects, and that my group really showcased the local flavor of their towns. At the end of my group's experience and presentation, we all walked away with the perception that we recognized the value of the community assets that were in counties that were not our own. We also knew that we exposed the importance of reaching out to tourists through social media. We instilled the benefit of young and old people learning social media techniques through social media workshops, and we also promoted social media as an inexpensive and convenient way of marketing to outsiders. Throughout this EPG program at Berea College in 2012, the takeaway from my experience would have to be that there is no I in team. As I reflect back upon the Summer Institute, the most significant element for me would have to be the importance of building a network in rural communities with community partners, because acquiring these networks helped my group and I better understand the issues in the areas we visited. And we realized that our community partners became very beneficial as we built our audience for our presentations. I have also learned that it is better to have a plethora of people from different regions, cultures, and disciplines in a group project or innovation process, so that no opinion gets overlooked and no idea disregarded. And by doing this, there is a better chance of success in the sense that we call people to action and better the society in which we live. Developing an entrepreneurial mindset has helped with my personal growth as well. It has allowed me to feel more comfortable working in groups and helped me disregard my routine of doing all the work or thinking that my opinion is the only one that matters. These ideas that I have listed above are not the work of one person. They are the result of research, fieldwork, observation, and brainwriting from my group entitled Keeping Appalachian Locations Digital, which you can find on Facebook. On another note, I have learned that models, public opinions, taking risks, teamwork, and respect are the keys to an entrepreneurial mindset. And with this new mindset, I will continue to lend a helping hand to my community as well as others' communities today, tomorrow, and in the future. To conclude, throughout the Entrepreneurship for the Public Good program, I have realized the value of building peer relationships and engaging in group thought processes, because working in groups allows creativity to flourish. I have also honed the ability to take the time to complete things in stages, which ensured that I could present polished work that would be very impactful. So in essence, I have learned that patience is important. I have also improved the way in which I present information in a compelling way. I have discovered that creating a narrative, adding visuals, and using the note card format is a really convenient way to structure information and get your point across. And on a final note, I really enjoyed being in the EPG program. It is a very beneficial opportunity that I think all students should engage in. Thank you. And here's my list of references that I have cited. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them at the bottom of my video. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.